Today, we are breaking the silence on a topic that has been taboo for too long: menopause and midlife wellness. I am joined by Amita Sharma, the visionary and co founder of Nourish Doc, a holistic wellness platform empowering women to navigate this hormonal transition with knowledge, grace, and self love. Drawing from her own experience as a perimenopausal woman in corporate America, Amit is on a mission to redefine how we talk about and treat women's health in midlife and beyond. Today, we are diving deep into what it means to heal, reclaim our bodies, and thrive during one of the most transformative chapters in a woman's life, and how trauma can affect this. Amita, thank you so much for joining us and welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Natasha. And I really appreciate you bringing this topic. And this is definitely brings trauma to a woman's life. And we'll get into it, what women can do, right?
Yeah, so I want to start with that because, we really unpack trauma here on the show. And if this is not the question is twofold. If you have experienced trauma in the past, let's start with this actually. If you have experienced trauma in the past, how does that affect this stage in a woman's life?
Yeah, I think it just aggravates everything on a log scale. I mean, I have experienced trauma in the past. Like I think there's an intergenerational trauma. There is all kind of trauma that you can face when you are growing up as a child or as a teenager. That life is full of trauma. Can be full of. I should not say full of trauma, but can be full of memories that are not very pleasant. And that could be traumatic or that could be stressful, but definitely stressful. Now, when the time comes when a woman is entering this perimenopause, menopause journey, all those past experiences kind of bubble up. And then I'm not saying they're going to explode, but it just definitely exasperates the whole thing. And the experience a woman will go through during the perimenopause journey, whether it depends a lot on the lifestyle that she has had previously, also the dietary things that she has had in the previous years, leading up to the perimenopause, and also because of her cultural and ethnic background. So a lot of cultures have women as subservient. That also bubbles up. I just want to point out all these things.
So as all of these things and these emotions are bubbling up during this time, how important is it to be handled correctly?
It's very important because the other thing that starts happening to 60% of the women who are getting divorced during this time as well. So it's not just the physical part of what's happening to a woman's body. The trauma, let's say we were talking about the earlier trauma, now that the new trauma can also kick in part of your relationship that can start going down south. That could be traumatic, or someone is going through a divorce. So this whole thing, it becomes like a big spaghetti, and it just actually gets hard to untangle if if the women, they need to start taking care of themselves, is what I want to really emphasize on this fact.
So we have women of this age have hormones rushing in their bodies, in hormones dropping, hormones, some levels are elevated, and there is PTSD and bad patterns or patterns in their life that are not serving them. So that's increasing their cortisol. How does this all play into the healing or the transition from perimenopause to postmenopause?
So the cortisol levels are definitely high, right? We talked about the hormonal fluctuations that are happening, that are quite erratic as due to those hormonal fluctuations. We have the stress levels can go up, and now perimenopause itself can last up to 10 years before you become menopausal, right? Menopausal is 51, 52. Perimenopause is 40 something. So during this whole transition years becomes very, very important for women to start embracing holistic therapies, right? And I'm not against taking hormonal replacement therapy, and I'm not a medical doctor. We are not saying that. But what we are trying to say is, what I'm trying to say is, embracing holistic therapy is something that you need to start incorporating on a day-to-day basis to help yourself calm down on a daily basis, to bring the stress levels down, to do things that give you joy, to really take care of your physical mind and body connection. Those things become very, very important if you want to transition through these years and also beyond once you're postmenopausal for the rest of your life until you die, right? So this holistic therapies, and I can explain in more detail what I mean by holistic therapies, is not voodoo science. It's all about dietary modifications, lifestyle modification, movement modifications. All these things become very, very important for us.
So you were in corporate America and you were going through this. What was that
Yes.
like for you?
It was really, really traumatic. The reason I'm using the word trauma is because I was being silent. I was not voicing my feelings, voicing my things that are happening to me. I did not know where to turn to, and even if I did seek medical advice, I was not told that I was going through perimenopause, and it's not a surprise because most of the medical doctors are not taught about perimenopause in the medical system. They're only taught about menopause, which is like 6 to 8 hours of study, and that's it. That the focus of a woman's life beyond the reproductive years does not really exist so far in the medical fraternity as well. And now you can imagine someone, anyone like
Even,
me.
sorry to interrupt you, even with your OB, like they're not really equipped with menopause.
No, no, menopause. Now they are. Things have changed.
Oh,
This is about
okay.
10 years back. This is about 10 years back. Things have changed. But if even if you talk to OBGYN, I've talked to almost 3,000 experts from all over the world, and quite a few of them have been OBGYN. Perimenopause is not taught in the medical schools. Menopause is taught, but only for 8 hours. That's what OBGYN. In fact, it was at NBC. The funny thing is, it was on NBC just a few weeks back at OBGYN. She was talking about it herself. It's and now you can, and most of the time when you go to OBGYNs, they will give you HRT as the option, the hormone replacement therapy, or some pills. So and that's it's. I think we should be given as women all the options that are available when we're going through this whole transition, not just one option, because each one of us cannot just take one pill, and each one of us as women will fit into that pill, is what I'm saying, or fit into that solution, if that's the pill or whatever.
So, I mean, that can be a whole traumatizing experience when you're not feeling supported by your medical team. And
Yes.
I know there's a lot of talk about how, especially to women, that they feel that their doctors are gaslighting them or not listening to them correctly. So does this play into it, not having the knowledge to be able to support them?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to uh, talk bad about doctors or anything like that. That's not what I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to just say is that there has to be a comprehensive resources that are vetted, that are, for women, to help them transition through this phase. And most of us will end up going to OBGYNs, right? That's the first thing we will do when the transition is happening to a woman's body, or we would go to a community, at workplace, right? In my case, the workplace had nothing, absolutely zero commitment to menopause. The word didn't even exist. If I, God forbid, if I went and I talked to someone, I'm like, oh my God, I was kind of worried how people are going to judge me. I'm going through perimenopause or whatever, and then the age discrimination. So it has to be normalized, right? That's really what I'm trying to say. In At the end of the day, whether it's your workplace, whether it's your OBGYN, whether it is your community, this whole topic, the transition from perimenopause to menopause, should be normalized. It's a normal phase of a woman's life. Every woman might not get pregnant, right? Or might not have a baby, but every single woman is going to go through this, whether you like it or not. That is a fact, right?
Completely. It's true.
Yeah. So why just hide? And I'm guilty too. Hide behind it, be silent, and not vocal about it, not seeking help. And I'm saying I'm completely guilty of doing all this. And suddenly, after suffering from all this, suddenly I said, "Oh, that was wrong. What I did. That was my reaction, and here I am doing what I'm doing now."
So what advice would you give to women who feel that they are being unseen, or that they're silencing themselves and they're not sure how to navigate the space?
They definitely have to vocalize their whatever is going on in their mind and body. They need to talk to their families, right? They need to seek help openly. I mean, I think I really wanted to do this to reach younger women, like 35 plus, because they are in today's day and age. They are very savvy. Most of them are working, and they are not scared to seek help. But I'm not sure if they know about this whole transition that's going to hit them once they get into the 40s. So not be, we just have to seek help, and not think that self-care is selfish. Most of the time, we women are always thinking, oh, if I do something for myself, I'm being selfish. I'm not taking for my kid. I'm not taking for my family. Like the list goes on and on, right? That's
Yeah.
how women are designed. That's how our brains are kind of designed to care for others, not care for ourselves. And we need to not feel guilty if we are asking help for ourselves, because guess what? If we don't take care of ourselves, the chances of us getting chronic condition, when all of us women get past 55 and plus, 80% of us have one chronic condition in the US. That is a fact. More women have dementia, more women have heart disease, osteoporosis, all these chronic conditions, more women have them than men.
And is this linked to menopause? Are these conditions
Yes,
linked to
after
menopause?
menopause. Yes, yes. No, I'm not saying all of the conditions are related to menopause, but it's a lack of taking care of yourself can exacerbate all these chronic conditions, right? Because menopause is the time when our hormones are kind of going fluctuating up and down, and we know that our bone density is going to go down as we age. That is a fact for men as well as women.
So, what was like the breaking point for you when you realized that you couldn't be silent, that you couldn't be silent anymore, or you needed to seek help?
Well, actually, honestly, I did not seek help. I just kept experimenting on myself. My breaking point came when I just endured all this and kept experimenting with my body and mind by using some holistic therapies. And I was able to magically, I don't know how, put my mind and body in harmony. Um, my point came 2, 3 years back when I started talking to a lot of holistic experts around the world. And initially, I wanted to do on chronic condition, company on chronic condition. But when I realized most of the women I was talking to, they were actually talking about, they were this phase of the menopause, perimenopause, whatever, and how they were sharing their stories. And then I realized that this is, rather than me going to the chronic condition, I need to come here and fix it when women are younger. It's too late, when someone already has 65 plus or 70, wherever they are. It's too late at that time. So that was my aha moment, that I need to come reach younger women, not the older women. uh, well, not that we are excluding them, but I need to help with the younger generation so that they don't get into a fix the way older women are now.
So, are you able to like you going after you want to appeal and talk to younger women? Because is it that if you lay a good foundation in your
Yeah.
20s and 30s, it will really put you in a good place to deal with this transition in life?
Exactly, exactly. That's why, because 60 something, 70 something women already, not that They can't help themselves. They can still change their lifestyle and all that, but so many things now are cannot be reversed. It becomes difficult as you age. Let's put it this way, right? And it's also difficult to change once you're in your at that time 60s and 70s. The technology and the digital and all the usage is not there. 20 something, 30 something, yes, we can still mold, and we can say if you put a good foundation now in your younger years, you can have a quality of life and a healthy life as you start aging.
So, what does it, to you, what does it mean to be truly holistic during this stage?
So holistic is really taking care of your not only your physical body, but your mind, your mind, body, and soul, right? Literally, it really means that, right? So you could be physically fit in a perfect, body, like a model body or whatever you want to call it, like a fashion model. But mentally, if you are screwed up inside, you're emotional, it's no good, right? So that's what it really means, that you have to be mentally, physically sound, and also your soul, meaning you're feeding the soul that gives you a little bit of a joy or happiness, so to speak, on a daily basis, some kind of a gratitude. So you could be in harmony if you follow some nature's rules, or if you follow some kind of some holistic therapies that can give you all the nourishment that you need to thrive with this mind, body, and soul.
So, what are things that you recommend that women should do?
Yeah, so I'm not a medical doctor, as I said, big disclaimer. All whatever I'm saying is on my work with, interviewing about 3,000 plus experts and doing all kind of research. So what I have found from talking to all these experts is really having a very um, daily kind of a regimen on a daily basis, so that you incorporate every single day the things that I'm talking about, meaning having a nourishing diet, movement, movement is important, relaxation techniques. And these are things like that are not so difficult to incorporate, but you can incorporate these things like, for example, hypnotherapy, aromatherapy, cognitive behavior therapy, taking care of your mental health and stress is very important. Even doing some simple meditation, some yoga grounding exercises, some breath work, eating the right type of food to nourish yourself, because now your estrogen is going down. All these things, right, can start helping you. And if you start doing that one by one every single day, it becomes your habit. And that's what we women should do, is try to build healthy habits, so that your body would automatically reject if you put something that's body is not used to, right?
So, you were figuring this out and navigating this space on your own. And I know you're not a doctor, but I'd love to know what was something that you felt helped you the most?
So I actually ended up doing a lot of, like I said, a lot of different things, a lot of experimentation. But I fixed my diet. I was not eating properly, and I would crave for sugar and all kind of junk food. So I had to fix my diet first, and I did see a dietitian for that. I did seek out nutritionist, and then I had to fix my exercise. I did seek a trainer, a fitness trainer, to help me um, put the right kind of exercises and put sort of like a weekly schedule of. So I incorporate strength training. Just to give you an idea, I have 2 times yoga, I do meditation, I do breath work, and I also do some cardio. So I mix it up, right? As far as the exercise is concerned. From the diet perspective, a lot of protein and healthy fats, pretty standard stuff, and a lot of nuts and seeds and all those kind of things, and get rid of the processed foods and the sugar. And for women and our age group, my age group, you need to load up a little bit on the healthy fats or things like that, right? But apart from the diet and exercise, I did seek out Ayurvedic therapies and acupuncture. I do want to say that. So I do that regularly, some kind of a medicated oil massages on my head, on my body, so to help myself calm down and also kind of, get the whole flow going. I also get acupuncture done quite regularly, just to get the energy flowing and just make sure everything is in sync. Aromatherapy, essential oils, I do use that. personally, I have taken some hypnotherapy sessions. So I have incorporated all these things, not every single day, but overall in a month's time or in 3 months' time, all these therapies come into being. And I also seek out therapy I have for my mental health, so that, I was having all these strange thoughts because I wasn't seeking out help when I was going through this perimenopause. So all these things will help you, right? And that's what I have done. I'm just sharing my personal
Yeah.
experience, right? And it has worked for me. My metabolism is much better. I have and quite a bit of lot of energy. I feel very energetic now because I'm doing all these things on an every single day basis.
And so what would your message be to young women or to women out there?
Mhm. Yeah, because young women, especially, I know they are so busy, running around trying to take care of 100 things they want to achieve. They want to achieve like be a CEO of their own world or whatever world. So I'm not saying slow down, but what I would say is that investing in your health, your wellness, your holistic wellness is critical. You know how young women, they will schedule every single thing. This also needs to be on your schedule. That's what I will say. 10-15 minutes of every single day, me time, investing in yourself, making sure you're doing all the things that we talked about earlier. It's critical for younger women to, when they reach a certain stage, what we're talking about.
So what are you most passionate about with
I
this cause?
Yeah, so I really am passionate about this because I really want to make a social impact by the work that I'm doing. And I earlier, when I was thinking about menopause, perimenopause, and I talked to quite a few people, and I said, "Are you crazy? This is such a topic nobody talks about." This is about 2-3 years back. Now everybody, not everybody, but so many people are talking about it, right? But the more I realize this whole thing is the way it's not only impacting the physical, but the relationships with the partners or yourself, and how your body is changing. And if with our work, the work that we're doing, it can make a social impact on a woman's life, whether it's her relationship, whether it's a mind, body, and soul. To me, that's worth doing it, right? So making an impact on people's lives is something that I personally wake up in the morning and I get excited about.
And how important is this for a woman's spiritual health?
Oh, it's absolutely, it's very, very important because now you have lived, you've sort of like I'm talking about an average woman, 50-year-old, has probably had kids that are sort of grown up or in college, and now it is your time to reflect on, to do the things what you wanted to do. And spirituality connects you with yourself, right? It doesn't have to be religious, but faith is very good. Faith also connects you as well, but if you're religious, that's great. But if you're not religious, the spirituality of just who you as being connects you with yourself, and that's important.
So, as my final question, is there anything that I haven't asked you that you would like to share today?
I would just say that investing in yourself and self care is not selfish. Women should keep that in mind. That's what I would like to emphasize. That yeah, just live in harmony with nature. That's important. Follow the circadian rhythm. I don't want to say too much, but even these simple tricks, if you start doing it one at a time, you will start feeling the difference, and just be happy with what God has given you. Gratitude.
Thank you so much for being with us today, Amita. I really appreciate it. And thank you for shedding light on this topic and how it can relate to our trauma and how we can start to heal.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to say that we are putting together an app that's going to come out in June. So check us out at nourishtalk.com.
Great. I'll put all the links in the show notes as well.
Great, thank you.